My name is Maciej, so I'm going to give you a short overview of blockchain AI, an introduction to the subject. And it's a big subject, so I'm just only going to mention a few things, a few aspects, simple observations. So like 4 parts. First, like more the technical aspects of this. Alright, so it seems like AI and blockchain are almost like opposing forces. That AI kind of like sucks in data information and concentrates power and kind of makes things centralized. And potentially blockchain could be a force acting in the other direction, decentralizing, democratizing, making things more transparent. But there are some synergies between the two. I'm going to dive into those details. So first, we're going to start like at the low level infrastructure, which actually is decentralized computation. Before we get to the higher levels of AI, like it's more like the base layers, like where does the computation happen? And actually, it's not. There are various AI crypto tokens I will mention, and we're not sure. It's not obvious they have solid fundamentals. And for example, there are centralized AI companies like Nvidia, 2 trillion market cap, but it's massively centralized. So AI needs lots of computation, machine learning in particular. So this field of decentralized compute is related, and I've mentioned several such projects. And be aware of short-sighted AI meme coins, and there is like one with some cute dog there. So it's Corgi AI. Because actually real blockchain AI applications takes a year to build. So basically, talking about infrastructure, one term for it is decentralized virtual infrastructure, or DVIN. This is basically like for how to run it's actually protocols, the decentralized computation, and the decentralized data storage. So one of them is, for example, IO.net, decentralized access to decentralized computational power. So basically users connect their machines and actually they leverage underused GPUs. And actually here's some statistics about running stable diffusion, what's the cost per image. And they claim it's like orders of magnitude lower than using AWS. So there seems to be solving some financial problems there, and offering better value for money. Next one, which actually is based in the UK, is Jensen. They focus specifically on decentralized machine learning, and again, users can connect their devices to this layer 1 blockchain, and it's censorship resistant. So basically, you can run machine learning without having the permission from a centralized company like Amazon or Google. And but still, this decentralized system does verify that the training is done correctly on those different machines that are participating there. Another one here is about data collection. So here the volunteers, they basically volunteer to collect data for this system. However, they explicitly are rewarded for this. So basically they contribute data and they get rewards. And here's some synergies between crypto and AI according to Outlier Ventures, short-term and long-term. For example, short-term, there might be some AI tools helping developers. So that's actually in the lower left corner, developer support. And more long-term here to the right, collaborative agents. So things like on the blockchain, basically where the AI is used to help to make decisions. And I think in our own company, in Redeem Technologies, we also use a combination in blockchain as a way of creating compliance and reliability, basically in a decentralized setting, and basically prove that certain things has happened or will happen. So that's also part of this fusion. All right, second part is now we kind of looked at technology quickly, but it turns out that actually in this area there are like moral dilemmas and moral battles, and also things to do with consciousness, AGM, and the singularity. So. Nobel Prize winner Sir Roger Penrose. Here's this excellent book which I recommend. Then he not only AI, he basically argued that computation itself, the consciousness isn't computational. That there is something specific about the human being, is exceptionalism, and there he made those tiles that are this basically, which is like humans can imagine you can fill a surface with those tiles, but actually they're aperiodic, so you can't have an algorithm doing that. So what's the unique human element? And what makes us special? Another contrasting perspective is pragmatic. That it seems that LLMs make us more productive. So maybe it doesn't matter that they're not conscious if they make us more productive. And there is this study claiming LLMs improve worker productivity, but actually it turns out that this is like task improve, maybe performing certain tasks, like related calls, productivity, writing, is still not sure obvious that it makes the whole organization more productive. But this goes back to the question: are these language models? Do they like? What is their value? What's like the empirical evidence of their value? And they just generate things which look nice, sound nice, but actually they don't have a concept of truth. And they work only for past data, and they amplify biases. So these are some like challenges of these LMs, and they typically run on some huge data center, so they expensive and centralized. AGM is artificial general intelligence. That means going beyond those individual tasks, but to something more generic, which actually can match or surpass human AI and human natural intelligence across various domains, unlike narrow AI. And some people, most might think it comes in 2 years, some people might say 20 years or longer, and it can actually solve global problems, but we're not sure if it's going to be aligned with our values. And then the singularity refers like a point, basically when the AI has surpassed human intelligence, and basically it is like a dramatic transformation, and maybe we feel like we have lost control as humanity. So, and again, people argue when that will happen. So if you combine the singularity and blockchain, you get Singularity Net, which actually it is a decentralized open source AI project that actually takes basically different AI services, and they actually so different providers can sell those like AI as a service, and they get basically tokens, AGI tokens in return. And developers publish the AI services network, and they want to make it like transparent and like kind of decentralized and open source. And they think basically that AGI has to happen, and it's going to happen in this decentralized setting that they provide. And basically, those are part of this will get those tokens. So that's basically the premise of Singularity Net. All right. Now going back to some like fears, basically, what this overly powerful centralized AI system could do. So basically, they could maybe, and they will do, restrict freedom of speech and censorship, could lead to loss of privacy and surveillance, job displacement, increased concentration of power. And could the blockchain be like a remedy? And I think in some cases, yes. For example, now we all have decentralized social media where actually all users own their data, can't be censored, so we will have that. For loss of privacy, we have privacy first blockchains and excellent zero knowledge technology, which is excellent for that. And here the last one, different various DAOs and decentralized apps, they do deal with this issue of okay, how do we decentralize power? But I think the most challenging is this one: job displacement, economic inequality. I don't think there are any quick fixes. The thing in blockchain are more like, oh, we have to transform like this whole world into a different world. For example, in like UBI, or that you work differently. So I think this is maybe the more challenging. And if you're working one of these problems and you have a solution, then you should give a talk about this, because these are enormous subjects, all of these boxes. Talking the third part, what are the roles that AI can play in relationship to the blockchain? So here are some ideas from Vitalik, and when he says player and game, this refers to player as in game theory, that you have certain objectives and you try to maximize some benefit. And there are 4 cases. We're going to look at those 4 perspectives. The first one is AI as the player in the game. So this means like you have things sitting on the blockchain, basically being controlled by the AI. For example, we all have MEV arbitrage bots that are like that, autonomous things which sit on the blockchain and are kind of like use some kind of AI, more or less. Another example that he mentions are actually AI in prediction markets. For example, when it's like a lack of data, or there are too few humans, or humans are too lazy, then actually, it's like a great idea is to have the AI bots that actually do this boring work of compiling data information and like saying, okay, we think it's this, and here's the evidence. So for example, could the AI bots make those prediction markets better? And some right examples are arbitrators, adjudicators, and provers of authenticity. For example, ask AI, is this NFT real, or is this fake? So it's great services. So then actually in this case, the AI helps establish truth on the blockchain. But the question is, how does it work? So this is one role we can play. Another role Vitalik describes AI as an interface for the game. This is basically like the user interface for using the blockchain. So for example, like MetaMask will give you like warnings, oh, this site is a scam, or Rabbit's wallet, which actually does simulate, oh, if you make this transaction, what's going to happen? Like, so it tries to like give you like a mental model of what's going to happen after when you do the transaction. Yeah, here we have LangChain uses wallet uses AI as a primary interface. And here's the risk that actually bad guys could reverse engineer machine learning models, and they could like make sure that they're not detected. So this is very challenging, because if these models are fully visible, some bad player could attack those models. So it could improve usability, but also there are some vulnerabilities. Next use case is AI as the rules of the game. Could AI, for example, be part of a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and enforce rules? For example, it's about behavior. But the danger is that it could become like, well, if it's opaque, people don't know how it works, it could become a centralizing power. And then some research, which actually is happening here, is that actually one way to solve this is to put AI models inside a cryptographic black box, a snark. That means you could get the AI to give you a decision about something, and actually have a logical proof that actually this is using the true model, while the model is hidden, and maybe 1 year later you can actually look at the model. So then you could both have the benefit of the AI without being able to like reverse engineer how it works. So that's a really excellent area for research about combining AI and cryptography. And there is a risk, black box adversarial machine learning. Even if you have some partial data about the machine learning model, you can actually guess how it's working, and you can like attack it. So the solution is to limit how much you can query the AI or hide the training data. And actually, AI judges like a dystopian, something sitting on the blockchain, like making judgments. You can't do this, you can't do this. But in a way, that's all that happens in the Web2 world. There are lots of like algorithms that make decisions about what you can post, what you can do, what you can't do. So in a way, yeah, probably they are also needed on the blockchain with those disclaimers that we mentioned here. The last role for AI to play is as the objective of the game. Maybe we are just like cogs in a wheel. We are together building the AI. So this is this final perspective here. So we're creating a scalable, decentralized private AI. And in fact, that seems to be the objective of the NEAR protocol. So here we would like to create black box AIs that are trustworthy, that we have kind of created together. And there are actually, no, they're fair, so it's a typo, and actually unbiased. And then actually we could democratically together actually govern them basically. And OpenAI has written some paper about this, how to include like the democracy and democratic process to control AI. And here's the thing. But this decentralized safe AI, it has a kill switch, which means like we, the participants, we the sovereign participants, like if we think he's misbehaving, we can say no, this is like please stop, just turn you off. So yeah, so that's kind of like it's almost entering some like a myth, like getting into like a mythology. Why would this? We have created something that something bigger than us, basically. That we can't control. So we have to like turn it off, and that's kind of this brings these two images in my mind. The first one here is Jonathan Swift, and actually there's this giant, and you can't control the giant, and he's been doing bad things. So we like the grassroots have to control it. because he has like lost lost control over it. Or the other metaphor is like the Tower of Babel, that we are actually together constructing gigantic structures like a system, and basically say, oh, we construct this AI together, and because we have the good AI, we're gonna trust it, and we're gonna like treat it as a god, and it's gonna like govern us. So I think that's like the Tower of Babel metaphor. So I think like all right. And now the final bit here is if you're not interested in the technical aspects or the moral aspects, for some people AI is about AI tokens, and they are most interested my liquid AI tokens, how they go up in value or not. So this last bit is about that. Actually, it's a fluid concept. What is an AI token? Because even decentralized compute, you can argue that's AI token or not. But according to CoinGecko, they actually have a $20 billion market cap, according to today. And actually, just today, these are the ones which are like the 5 biggest. And I think I mentioned the last one. And some of them are about decentralized machine learning, decentralized GPU power, doing queries, and the last one about this decentralized AI services. And some of them argue, actually, if you buy a token, you're contributing to AI research. So you're doing like a good act, basically, and then actually we together own this thing that we create, and it will, because we own it together, it can't be evil. We're gonna so that's like basically the story. So anyway, so it's a story about how we can use the decentralization of AI, of the blockchain to control basically AI together. I think that's a story. All right, thank you.
Yeah.